I'm Leslie.
I'm Doreen. We're here to talk about the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance.
And we're going to start right off with Jasmine and Gino. We have to take this moment and celebrate because it's probably a fleeting moment, but they are engaged. They are engaged. They have both said yes. I don't even know. It's the funniest thing to me because he's so worried every time he says something to her that he's afraid she's going to break up with him and run. I'm like, oh, that's true love. Like this is going to last. But of course we still have to get over that prenup conversation, which is a hot topic for many of these couples.
He just keeps putting it off, and we all know once he says that, she's going to throw a lamp at him, and probably put a scar on his face. And now he's agreed to pay for her apartment to make her happy, but he tells his uncle he has no money.
And the whole thing, I can see paying for but what bothers me about this is, why is it all or nothing? Why can't you at least let them, like you would with a child? Like, I will pay some of the apartment, but you need to pay so much. Because then at least they understand the value of money, if you still have them paying for something.
Didn't she live on her own? Oh, I don't know if she did or not.
I don't even know.
And I don't know, didn't she say what she makes just covers food in the apartment? Like it was tight. I don't know.
I don't know. And then, okay, my one other topic was, why every time when they talk about Gino being nervous about a situation is they zoom in on his feet? I guess from me being a foot shaker here, I'm like, is that to show that he's nervous? I'm like, how many times can you zoom in? And sometimes his feet aren't actually doing anything down there. I'm like, oh my God, another sneaker shot. But anyway, enough of Jasmine and Gino. We're just going to move on to the happier couple this week, Memphis and Hamza.
The wedding goes off. And I think it was a surprise to everybody watching when she said, I'm pregnant. Because I was like, weren't you just there for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks? And
yeah, but technically they got it in the right order. They got married and then she was pregnant.
No.
Even though she really wasn't.
I was going to say.
But it's almost the right order. It's very close.
She found out she was
pregnant.
A
little loophole there, but I'll give her credit for that one, that it was almost the correct order of doing things.
And I get it. She's from the foster care system, so she wants the family. I get that, but I gotta wonder. I mean, she's got 2 kids. I think one's a teenager, one's like 7 or 8, and now she's suddenly like, oh, I'm pregnant, and we really weren't taking precautions. And then she's talking like before the honeymoon, and she's like, hey, you're going to be like this, right? Not like this. And I'm like, that's probably not a good way to start a marriage when you're discussing that. I'm a little concerned with her being pregnant so quick. I mean, was she there for 3 weeks? And if she wasn't, did something happen before she went there and it's not his kid?
Well,
I don't know.
I'm assuming he's a fairly bright individual, that if it wasn't technically possible that it could be his child, he would call her out for that. So I'm thinking,
if he wants to go to America, he said, my parents, I'm so happy I did this for my family, married an American girl for my family. He said that in one of the things.
I don't know, but I was very happy. I like her now. Like I have compassion for her. I think she's had it rough, and I'm hoping this is her happily ever after. You never know. Stranger things can happen. Oh my God. Onto this little Mike and Ximena. I mean, my whole thing was, we thought Ximena was the one that was crazy, but my feeling is, I wondered what her tears were last week. Her tears were just because I don't think she really wants to hurt Mike. Her tears because I think she realizes that the possibility of something positive for her kids and her kids' future, because her true love is her kids, which is wonderful. She realized that ends with Mike. And even that she was giving back the rings almost showed like, it's not about the money. I just went out of this. I went away from you. It's sad as it is. Like she'll go back to roughing it with her tight little family to be away from him because she doesn't want to be with him. And he was so pathetic. It was just
pansy ass. Sorry.
Begging, bribing, pulling out all the stops of like, I can give you this, the opportunities, I was taking care of this, how did you do that? And then once she didn't respond to that, then it turned to hate. And of course his Spanish is also getting excellent. Another shout out to his language skills with the ones we won't mention that he said perfectly well in Spanish. I was like, and I'm like, oh my God, my go home. Like it was so sad to me to see him so...
I want somebody to mail him a backbone because listen, we have all gone through hurt. We have all been in that, I'll call it a pathetic state where you're just like, you're sitting on your bed or something and you're like, oh my God, I'd do anything. I just wish he or she, would call me. And we all feel that pain. But hopefully most of us, have at least had a backbone where you're like, even though I'm sad, I am not going to like beg for somebody's love. Like I deserve more.
And he was begging to just stay
there.
He
was like, let me pay everything.
Grabbing at any little piece of her that he could get.
Well, that was the other thing when he's like, I'm not leaving. I pay for this place. I'm like, why would you want to be there?
Why put yourself through this?
And then can I say goodbye to the kids and her family?
Really? No, that was another line to try to. Yeah, it was this was his worst moment. This was his worst moment.
Yeah, he's just, hopefully, I do agree with you, though. I did like the fact that she's like, here's the rings and whatever. That just made me feel, like you said, like, I tried to do this, but I can't.
Yeah, and it's,
little redemption there.
Yeah, I this was the most I liked her in any episode, was this episode. I think she salvaged a little bit of her whatever. So.
Speaking of salvage, I am really, really sorry, people. Ben and Mahogany, I despise her. Despise that child of 22 years old. I can't even control myself because everything she did from him, from baiting him on the thing and saying I love you and making him think that she was in love with him, not doing video. Then he flies there. She doesn't show up. She doesn't come to dinner. And then she finally shows up, and then she doesn't respond to his 55 messages. She leaves him at the place, and then she asks to see him. Stupid Ben, well, God wants this, goes, and as soon as he starts saying, like, well, wait a minute, like, why aren't you staying at the university? I just need to leave.
Yep.
You are so mean and such a horrible person.
Right when she got caught.
Hope somebody screws you horribly. Oh my God, I can't stand her.
Right when she got caught, she was out. And I did like the fact that at least he called her out for that filtering. And she was just kind of like, yeah, like you had major filter on. He didn't do that. Not nearly like she did. So, and she did not like that. When she was not in control, making him the one that was like the one who'd done wrong in this whole situation, suddenly she was like, I can't sit here and listen to this because I'm out. And what he's going to do, I don't even know. Because
he's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Just go home. Just go home.
But her, I hope TLC or whoever this station this is on follows up with her. And man, karma's a bitch. That's coming back to her because that was just downright mean.
Yeah, she has just strung him along and treated him like, and he keeps, and I'm just like, and then he tried to, have felt like they were on solid ground once they kissed, even though she kissed him and then he kissed back. Like it had to be initiated by her. But then he felt like, oh, I can actually be myself now, and that got shut down right away. So yeah, that was a very annoying segment on them. But Kim and Usman,
like, what's up with that now? So now what?
I don't even know.
America.
I don't even know.
Wait, and you see him talking to his ex-girlfriend. Hey, Zara. Like, whatever. Like, that's how it ends. He's, like, talking to her.
And she's like, I trust you. And I was like, you got to be the only one in the world that trusts him not to sleep with anyone else. I'm like, but that's okay, whatever. But
so scary.
We have to wait and see. Hopefully there's, like, a finale where we actually see what happens with these people, because I cannot believe they have a shot. I think there's a
tell-all coming next.
Yes, there needs to be. There needs to be, because there's no way this lasts, this Kim and Usman.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, no, that's just ridiculous. But it's a shame these people actually fall for this crap.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We know what we're talking about here. But anyway, if you like this, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. And we will see you next time.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye-bye.